The hijab, often simply called a headscarf, holds deep religious and personal significance for many Muslim women. It represents modesty, faith, and identity. For some, it's a personal choice, an outward expression of their devotion to Islam. Others see it as a cultural tradition, passed down through generations. The meaning can be fluid, varying between individuals and communities. However, it's rarely just about the fabric itself. The hijab carries powerful symbolism. France prides itself on laïcité, a strict form of secularism enshrined in its constitution. This principle emphasizes the separation of church and state, promoting religious neutrality in the public sphere. While intended to ensure equality for all citizens, regardless of belief, laïcité has become central to the hijab debate. Some argue that religious displays, particularly those deemed conspicuous like the hijab, undermine France's secular identity. They believe religious expression should be confined to private spaces. The media plays a significant role in shaping public discourse surrounding the hijab in France, influencing public opinion. Sensationalized headlines and biased reporting can exacerbate tensions, fostering misunderstanding, fear, and division. Certain media outlets portray the hijab as a symbol of oppression, fueling harmful stereotypes about Islam and Muslim women. This often overshadows the diverse experiences and perspectives within the Muslim community, silencing many voices. The recurring focus on the hijab can create a climate of suspicion, prejudice, and social division. The hijab debate features prominent voices on both sides. It has become a symbol of the broader cultural and political tensions within France, reflecting deep-seated issues about identity, secularism, and freedom. Far-right leader Marine Le Pen, known for her anti-immigration stance, views the hijab as a threat to French identity and advocates for its ban in public spaces. Le Pen argues that the hijab is not merely a piece of clothing, but a political statement that challenges the secular values of the French Republic. She argues that it represents the Islamization of France, echoing the anxieties of some citizens. These concerns are often rooted in fears about the erosion of traditional French culture and the perceived rise of radical Islam. On the other hand, activists like Lilia Bouin challenge the notion that the hijab inherently symbolizes oppression. Bouin and others argue that the hijab can be a personal choice, a form of self-expression, and a testament to one's faith. Bouin, who chooses to wear the hijab, argues that true secularism necessitates respecting individual liberties, including freedom of religion and expression. She believes that banning the hijab is a form of discrimination that targets Muslim women and undermines the principles of equality and freedom. She highlights the hypocrisy of restricting women's clothing choices in the name of liberation. Bouin emphasizes that true empowerment comes from allowing women to make their own choices, whether that means wearing a hijab or not. This debate continues to spark intense discussions across France, reflecting the ongoing struggle to balance secularism with religious freedom in a diverse society. Section 5: Echoes of Empire, a History of Control. Understanding the hijab debate requires acknowledging France's colonial past, particularly in North Africa. During colonial rule, the French government often sought to control and civilize colonized populations, including dictating their attire. The unveiling of Muslim women was seen as a mark of progress and assimilation. This history continues to influence contemporary perceptions of the hijab, particularly among those who view it through a colonial lens of us versus them. Section 6: Living the Debate, Muslim Women Speak Out. While politicians and pundits engage in heated rhetoric, it's crucial to center the voices of those most impacted Muslim women in France. Many express frustration at being treated as pawns in a political game, their identities reduced to a piece of cloth. They emphasize that the decision to wear or not wear the hijab is deeply personal and should be respected. Some share experiences of discrimination and harassment, highlighting the real-world consequences of Islamophobia fueled by the hijab debate. Section 7: A Question of Choice, Agency, and Identity. A central tension in the hijab debate revolves around the question of choice. Is it a symbol of oppression or a mark of personal and religious identity? Opponents of the hijab often frame it as a symbol of women's oppression, arguing that Muslim women are coerced into wearing it. They believe that the hijab is imposed by patriarchal structures and that it limits women's freedom and autonomy. However, this perspective ignores the agency and diverse experiences of Muslim women themselves. It overlooks the fact that many women choose to wear the hijab as an expression of their faith, cultural identity, and personal beliefs. Many emphasize that their decision to wear the hijab is a personal choice stemming from their faith and identity. For them, the hijab is not a symbol of subjugation, but a testament to their autonomy and spiritual commitment. Reducing the hijab solely to a tool of oppression simplifies a complex issue and disregards the voices of those directly affected. It is crucial to listen to the women who wear the hijab and understand their perspectives. Their stories reveal a rich tapestry of reasons and motivations, from deep religious conviction to a sense of belonging and empowerment. By acknowledging the agency of Muslim women, we can foster a more nuanced and respectful dialogue. This dialogue should celebrate the diversity of experiences and choices rather than imposing a monolithic view on a multifaceted issue. Section 8. Belonging in France, reconciling differences. The hijab debate raises fundamental questions about national identity and belonging in France. It challenges the very fabric of what it means to be part of the French nation. What does it mean to be French in a multicultural society? This question is at the heart of many discussions and debates as France grapples with its colonial past and its present-day diversity. Can a secular state truly embrace religious diversity? The French principle of laïcité, or secularism, is meant to ensure that religion and state remain separate, but how does this principle hold up in a society that is increasingly diverse? These are complex issues with no easy answers. The conversations are often charged with emotion and historical context, making it difficult to find common ground. Some argue that a truly inclusive France must make space for religious expression within the public sphere, allowing individuals to express their identities freely, while others maintain that strict secularism is essential to maintaining social cohesion. They believe that keeping religious symbols out of public spaces is crucial for unity. Finding a path forward requires open dialogue and a willingness to engage with different perspectives. It involves listening to the voices of those who feel marginalized and those who fear losing their cultural identity. Ultimately, reconciling these differences is not just about policy, but about building a society where everyone feels they belong. It's about creating a future where diversity is seen as a strength rather than a challenge. Section 9. Future uncertain. Navigating tensions. The future of the hijab debate in France remains uncertain. As the country grapples with social and political anxieties, the hijab continues to be a lightning rod for broader anxieties about immigration, Islam, and national identity. Legislative attempts to restrict religious attire, particularly targeting Muslim women and girls, have faced legal challenges and sparked protests. The debate is likely to persist, requiring ongoing conversations about religious freedom, women's rights, and the meaning of secularism in a diverse society. Section 10. Beyond the Veil: Lessons in Tolerance. The hijab debate in France offers valuable lessons that extend far beyond the issue of religious attire. It compels us to confront our own biases and examine how historical legacies continue to shape contemporary attitudes towards marginalized communities. Ultimately, the debate underscores the importance of empathy, understanding, and respectful dialogue in navigating complex social issues. By listening to diverse voices and challenging our own preconceptions, we can strive to create a more just and inclusive society for all.